Hey guys, this is Vitamin ZK's
Zuko.
and K Sizzle, and today we're going to talk to you about Rosalina's custom special moves as we try to crack the customs. So right off the bat, let's start off with Neutral Special 2, the Luma Warp. So as you can see, just like the name implies, Luma warps a set distance across the stage. It does have a hitbox when it appears, so be privy to that. Very good for covering the distance, closing the gap, and you can immediately go into attack. So this is a really fast move. No lag. It just seems like an all-around good move, but the problem is that it's always going to be that distance. You know, there's no charging it involved. It'll just always appear in that area, and that's it. Then you can retract your back. So, any comments on this move?
I think it's very solid. I think it's preferred just because of the hitbox it actually has when it pops up. At higher percents, might be hard to display right now, but it can combo into other moves depending on the angles. And just like the overall speed and how it disappears, it's really quick, and it just allows you to do different things. Necessarily better, not really sure, but it's definitely very solid and a good alternative. We're not Rosalina players, but this seems like a very good custom move. Just strong. That's a good word. But yeah, I guess that's it for me.
That distance that covers is pretty good.
Yeah. And I have the Power Luma shot, which travels extremely slowly. Thankfully, you can act out of it pretty fast while it's moving. It deals kind of low damage without being charged. If I charge it up, it deals 22%, or maybe even 25 there.
Decent knockback. I was just hit at very low percent, and look how far it's
Yeah, he went pretty far.
but the charge time is about 3 seconds, 2 seconds.
Yeah, it takes a long time to get that strength, so you're not gonna get too much utility out of it. And as a puppet character, you're kind of leaving yourself open when you're trying to send
she
Luma
is
out.
completely vulnerable to attacks in it, even at the charge time. So be careful with that. But you're rewarded if you were able to charge it all the way. You can get a frame trap going. Not too much far distance, but you can roll behind. You can do it whatever you want. So the drawbacks are pretty much cover the pros pretty well.
Yeah, they're apparent. Couldn't say this is definitely better or not, but yeah, well, I guess we'll save those comments for later. So yes, let's move on.
Alright, so let's move on to side B2, which is the Floaty Star Bit. So you might have seen this a little earlier, and what this does is it fires one slower star bit that doesn't go as far, but is good at getting in the way. There it is, to the point. It comes out of Luma as the other moves usually work.
Yeah, I can't seem to actually interact with it in terms of canceling out the move.
And if you block it, there's a pretty good amount of time before the active hitbox restarts, so you can block it, roll out of the way.
Yeah, so that was 2 hits. I easily could have slipped out.
So as far as its uses go, you'll probably soon see why this isn't one of the preferred ones. But hey, we might have these uses in some areas because it is a lingering hitbox. If you want to cover as much space as you want in a short amount of time instead of just one shot or anything like that, then maybe it could be preferred. Maybe you're having trouble closing that gap.
Right, and Shooting Star Bit's up next, and this is definitely a very good custom move. It acts as if a Falco laser, maybe from Brawl, where Falco's laser is a little bit better. It's very quick, deals about 4 to 3% depending on the deterioration of the move.
Very fast projectile.
Very fast. Of course, it comes out of Luma, so wherever Luma is, it'll come out from there. So you can end up covering pretty good angles with it as well. Just overall, very good compared to her normal Star Bits, which is very short range projectile. Kind of defeats the purpose of a projectile, in my opinion. This gives Rosalina a very long range attack. Lets her control space in more ways, which some might not like because Rosalina is a very good character, but it does add to her, and it's not impossible to deal with. It doesn't have a lot of hit stun to block it, and if Luma's gone, she can't use it, things like that. Yeah, very solid, very strong.
Definitely seems like the pros outweigh the cons by a good amount in this one. Just seems like, why not pick this one,
Right.
So there's nothing much to say on that. Let's go into the up Bs. So that's Launch Star Plus for me. And immediately you'll notice that was really fast. So you can't control the angle, but you should get sent skyward way quicker. So the angle of excuse me, the angle of ascent is always the same, no matter what. I can hold left, I can hold right, but if you're noticing right there from the center of the stage, I'm always going the exact same angle. You can obviously still control the descent, but not that well. Let me see it off stage. Yeah, I was holding to the right there, so it took a while for me to start moving in that momentum.
Not too much control, but it's mainly used for like very low recoveries if you want to get back.
Yeah, I mean, Rosalina's normal neutral B, neutral up B, I guess it can be reacted to, but it can also be gimped. You know, like, look, she only has one option when she's over here, and you know it's coming, so you can probably preemptively set up an attack. But look how fast that was to grab the snap on the ledge.
Definitely harder to react to.
So it's definitely a tool if you're tired of getting gimped, and you know you still won't have an attack. But look how fast it is. It's ridiculous. So it's an option. It's a good option, and definitely fits the bill for alternative. I want to try this instead of that because of this situation affecting me. So I think we can move right on to yours.
It's the launch star attack, which just gives Rosalina an attack on her up B. Doesn't travel as far. You can angle this one. Horizontal range isn't great. Vertical's pretty satisfactory for Rosalina. You can still get pretty good recovery there due to how she kind of floats around at the end of that.
And you can't get away with throwing out an attack this time around.
Right. But in since you have an attack now, you can actually cover a little bit more safer from below, clip them, or even maybe a new out of shield option if you'd like that. Maybe not that reliable, but you know, if the opportunity comes, you might want to use that. So it seems solid, but you're losing distance, which you might not prefer. But
that's where preference comes in.
Yeah, that's the con of the move. You know, it's pretty balanced in that sense.
So, you know, before with the other two, like this one and the normal one, you can attack with Luma on the way down, and you couldn't attack on the way up. At least now you have an attack covering both sides, up and down.
Right. So yeah, let's move on.
Alright, so now let's move on to the down specials, the final two, and I'll start with Catch and Release. Now, Catch and Release pulls foes in and damages them, but they have no effect on items or projectiles. So if you can see, there is a wind box that drags you in and then attacks. Now, I don't think it's as good. As you can notice, she's not affected by hit stun as she's being pulled in. So she can block even after she starts getting pulled in, or even jab or anything off normal reaction time. So, you know, I'm not sure the uses on it, considering you're losing on that big item and projectile counter.
Yeah, I guess let me just show that off. The projectile.
Let me get Luma out of the way.
Yeah, Luma's, so basically just doesn't do anything.
So, I mean, I'm sure,
it's kind of gimmicky.
We didn't see how it works in the air, jump near me. Okay, so I guess it probably is better in the air. You know, you wanna, but it doesn't seem like that hit stun is too big.
Dodge, so
yeah.
I doubt there's not much I have to worry about. Though you did catch me there.
Yeah, I mean, it could be used as a frame trap because you could just keep throwing it out. So let me see repeated use. Definitely seems like the other one is a bit faster. When I see people like the Buzz playing, there's Shaky or Abadango, they can just keep mashing it, and you just see it non-stop, twirling the wand.
Yeah.
But yeah, not much else to say on that. And now we'll move on to the final custom move,
Guardian Luma, which gives Luma grows in size and it has an attack. It can't doesn't protect you from projectiles. If you could shoot one of those star bits at me.
Yep.
I'm not pulling it in. I would have gotten hit. Yeah. Okay. So it doesn't do that, but it can still pull in items. We don't have items on right now. But
yeah, so
you were fighting somebody like Link or Mega Man. If they throw a bomb or a metal blade, she'll still be able to pull those in for whatever reason. I don't know. And so that's it's not a terrible trade-off because at least you're still getting to absorb items. So maybe now it becomes a little more matchup dependent. It's a pretty fast move. It's pretty fast. Get off me. And of course you could do it when Luma's not near you. So you know, it's a decent option. I don't know how to call this one, but it does seem pretty solid.
Yep.
At least somewhat different and doesn't completely completely lose her ability to negate certain projectiles.
And I think that covers it. So, right off the bat, 8 custom moves, a lot of them really good.
Yeah, I wouldn't call any of them overpowered, but I do think a lot of them are solid, and maybe even better than her default. Like this one, I definitely think is the best of her side movies. Like, I don't see why you'd use the others. It's just so fast, deals good damage for what it does, covers a lot of space. As for, let's see this, the neutral beat, I think the warp out of the customs is much better than the slow one. Just lets her set up. Travels very fast, very quickly. Up B, I think, you know, that's hard to call.
Preference.
I do like how fast that one is, but you can't like angle it, so you're very like your recovery is going to be very like predictable after a while.
I can honestly see someone like again using the buzz as an example. Maybe he loses game one to someone like Nairo, and it's because he keeps getting gamed or intercepted down here and dying because of it. Switch onto another one, or maybe you switch to both, you know, throughout the set. And it just seems like they all cover all these various options.
Right. Yeah. Mainly depending on who you're fighting.
Yep.
And down B, I would say that one that you just did doesn't have much use in my opinion.
Not a fan.
No point in losing your reflector. This one, the Guardian could be good for certain matchups, depending on how many like projectiles they have. If they don't, pretty much just should switch to this because you know you're not going to get any other use if you don't have the reflector on. But I guess one case is that you need Luma around to use the Guardian. I don't believe you need Luma around to use the normal projectile counter.
Yeah.
So that's one thing to keep in mind.
I'm sure like the items will still like calm down near you, but you won't have that Guardian.
Yeah.
That
Like
can
you
block
lose
attacks.
half the utility with this, whereas if you just use the default, you would at least always be able to reflect projectiles or bring them to you, not really reflect.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that covers Rosalina. Let us know in the comments what you guys thought. Seems like a very decent character. Nothing over-centralizing here. Hope we got explored these customs well enough for you guys, and spread the video, like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you guys next time for the next video.
Yep. See you later.
Bye-bye.